we kind of did this backwards. I'd rather can we switch the graphics around, or are they all in order?
For what?
Nate Davis.
We go
do Nate Davis too, because I think that before we get into Caleb top 5, that's probably more of a
heard he wasn't there.
More of a contract or more of a conversation again.
So we're doing Nate Davis now.
Yeah. Because I think, listen, and Courtney told me too early to worry. You know what I mean? The fact that listen, this is all you need to know. That's the picture that we have of Nate Davis. Yeah, I mean, it's sitting at a press conference. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
I'm not to the point where I'm overly concerned about Nate Davis yet, but I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to the point where it's like, all right, my guy, last year, nothing from last year applies to this year to me. I'm not looking at none of the practices, none of the stuff because of everything he went to. Y'all know I give grace on all of that. But this year, you have a brand new quarterback.
Yep.
You have a right tackle that you spent minimal time standing next to.
Yep.
You have a brand new center.
We have cadence issues.
Well, not really cadence issues. He's just learning.
Just timing of it.
He's just got to learn that part.
But Nate Davis ain't there to be a part of that.
Nate Davis that's my problem.
He got to be on the line.
You need to build this chemistry up. You need to be out there. And now, Matt Eberflus said, these are precautionary things. This is something that is related to some sort of injury he may be dealing with. It could be that he's just feeling something. And, they're taking every little thing and they saying, don't go out there and play if you got any little thing. But my problem that I'm seeing right now is that I keep mentally going back to what we heard from Mike Vrabel.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going back to, and Courtney talked about this today. She said she talked to Vrabel at owners' meetings about, why would you let Nate Davis go? He was a pretty good right guard. That's not a position you just give up on. And he corroborated the same thing again. We want guys that like to practice. I don't know if this is if this is an issue yet. But listen, this seems to be a theme, at least to this point, and I hope that we don't get to training camp and have this still happen here. Boys, are you worried about Nate Davis yet?
Yep.
I've been worried about him since last year.
There's I already knew this, but I wanted to make sure I got the right person. And just in case he retracted this, I'm not going to say his name. But somebody very notable said that Mike Vrabel hated him. He didn't say he didn't like him. He said he hated him.
That's strong.
Hates is strong.
That's a strong word.
It's a strong word, though.
Hate is in the NFL.
He said he hated him.
They paid Russell Wilson $37 million to get out of Dodge. That's hate in the NFL. Let's not act like there's not.
That is hate.
You know how much I gotta hate you? $37 million a lot of hate.
Nasty word.
You know what would be crazy though? Like I would hate for Nate Davis to be the equivalent. Like y'all remember like that Temptations movie where the original lead singer guy.
Oh yeah.
He didn't want to like do anything, practice. He was just being a jerk, and they let him. He's sitting at the bar years later while they took off. And he's sitting there like, I could have been
just
me.
my imagination.
Now we don't know. We don't know this man. Maybe like he's got a lot going on, or whatever his motivations are. But I would hate that you're a professional that doesn't want to show up and play, and you don't see the potential with this team. Like it's just disappointing if that he doesn't.
Well, and here's my thing. Listen, I don't mind now. I don't know how his teammates feel about it, but me not being on the team, not standing next to him, not being out there working with him, not having to sit there, and be like, hey, why you not practicing? And we all are. I don't care if you don't practice, if you go out on the field and you're David Bakhtiari when he's healthy. Because guess what? David Bakhtiari didn't practice.
But he hasn't earned that. Like Bakhtiari earned that. He's been a dominant tackle for years.
I hear you, but I'm saying you got to be that though. You can't come in and not practice and like you go out there on Sunday and it's like, hey, bro, like what the heck is that? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I've got a little bit of concern with Nate Davis. I'm not at nuclear levels yet, but I wonder if this really is just, exactly which would suck. Because now the offensive line that you were planning on having, you can't have. One, we've barely seen it at all. But you're talking about having an offensive line where Ryan Bates not being your starting center now is your right guard, which I would like better. But
Yahtzee.
And then you've got Coleman Shelton basically being your starting center. There goes your
my
depth.
boy. Where's my rookie? Where's the young pup?
Kieran, Matt.
Karan Amagaji.
We got depth.
Yeah, but that's left side though. I mean, you can put him at the right side, but like
Now you're doing that whole switching the sides.
Is Borum
point-
on the chopping block too?
Who?
Borum.
Larry?
He's
probably.
gone. But like he's a tackle, but does he work maybe
He
as a
played
guard?
left and right.
Yeah, but I'm saying as a guard though. They have him as a tackle.
Although he doesn't.
Well, listen,
specifically-
he played left guard in college as well. But Yurko said this on last week on Friday's pod. And he said it a couple of times. He said, if I wanted to find guards in the NFL, I just draft tackles. If they bad at tackle, you move them inside.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because if
So
you got,
you can move.
if
players
you,
around.
if you got the
guards.
well, I mean, you can move players
So
around.
So you can't do it.
Yeah, I just don't like that.
I was just-
What does
I
he
was
normally
just
play, like left tackle or right tackle?
Karan, left tackle. Karan is a left tackle. But, if you don't feel like Karan is, if you're happy with what Braxton is putting out there and maybe you want to move some things around, keep Ryan Bates in there at center, you want to move Tevin to the right side, you want to put Karan in on the left side of left guard. It's tough because you kind of got to pick and choose if Nate Davis isn't out there, right? You got to pick where do I want to be weakest at? Because I've got guys that can play all the position. I've got the depth that I need. But the problem is I don't have all of the bodies where I feel like I'm the strongest at every position.
Now, this is a question for you. I know, JC, you had something. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, here's my issue with the whole Nate Davis situation, right? Why aren't you concerned personally? Because that's really who should be the first person that should be worried for your starting position. You should never, ever, in any sport, right, be so comfortable that, okay, I'm coming back. Okay, they gave me a year to kind of get through what I'm going through, even if I'm still dealing with the loss of a really close family member. I'm here.
Yeah.
But I'm not practicing. I have no injury. There's no injury report on me. I'm just going through the motions. This team at this point in juncture is all about competing at every single position to see who can be the best and who's going to start. If you don't have that mentality, I have a problem with you altogether, because everybody here, Matt Pryor, like you said, Ryan Bates, Coleman Shelton, Kieran Amagachi, they're in there, they're doing their job. They're getting ready for the season. You're sitting there acting as if this is just a shoe-in for you to be the starting right guard. And I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that there's like a come to whatever moment for him where he's being told, hey, you're going to be the backup, because you're not really – you don't have the mentality that we're trying to coach into these players.
But you also got to take politics into it.
Facts.
The politics of sports is I paid you $10 million. You're getting your butt out there. I'm not putting somebody out there that's making $850,000 ahead of you.
Yeah, that is the other part.
I'm not paying you $10 million to sit over here on the sideline. I'll pay you $10 million to make sure that you put tape out that a team never pays you again.
The best ability is
that's a good
availability.
point.
You've said it plenty of times.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that leads to this question: $10 million or not? If he's not available, he's not available. How does that compromise this line, and ultimately, where does that rank now, heading into the season with what we have?
I mean,
What
it's
does that do
it's
for
the
you?
biggest storyline heading into the season right now. There's no other storyline. Keenan Allen's there. DJ Moore's amazing.
Wait. But he's playing right guard.
Yeah.
Right. So we have Tevin at left guard. We have Braxton. We have our center. And it looks
But your center may have to play right guard now.
I think
That's
our
what.
center's
That's how
playing
they've
center.
been. That's how they've been splitting it, because when Nate Davis did practice and limited snaps, he split time with Ryan Bates. So your starting center that's projected to be your starting center is moving over to your right guard position, or you move Tevin to right guard, you put Karan in at left guard, and you let him kind of figure it out because he's got help down there, and you leave Ryan Bates at center. Like, you have options, but the best option to me would be get Nate Davis on the field practicing, and you have a right guard that is, at a minimum, a professional right guard.
At what point do you start to move forward with the lineup you've been practicing with if he's not available? At what point do you say, all right, listen, we have to at least get ready because we have to help this kid out?
Not until a few weeks in training.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you got a long time. That's why I said, like, it's something that I'm paying attention to, but I'm not where I was last year because they just didn't tell us anything. Yeah, I mean, remember last year, it's just like Nate Davis just not playing. Like, what's going on? We paid him $10 million, and then like we find out everything that happened. But before all of that, which if they'd have just handled it the right way and been like, hey, he's dealing with something with family, stop being a douche.
Big douche.
But
guy.
Vrabel's comments are like really damning in the sense
Oh yeah, The second the second he was out the building, he Kendrick Lamar footworked on that.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
He has a particular quote that pretty much said that the durability in professional football is a real thing in relation to. We didn't say it specifically, but that was a topic of that conversation. So now your question is durability, and that's someone we picked up, paid him $10 million, all that stuff. Like at a certain point, you have to prepare for that person not to be.
I wonder who dropped the ball. Like, because there's a director of pro personnel that goes to that. You're going to report to Ryan. How much was Ryan like? Did he get some bad information, or did he gamble on this guy?
Well, I think I keep saying
they miss.
I keep saying
I'm just wondering.
It's this season for me. Last season, I know that it is do your job, get your job done, but like
your job.
You know what it's like when you lose somebody and you got to go to work the next day. You're not working. You're not focused on work. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So I think that last season I can't even hold against them. Now everything this season I can hold against you. And not to say you're done dealing with it, because you're probably never done dealing with it. But at a certain point, all right, you got to get yourself together. Mm-hmm. You have a job that you need to do. That's this season for me.
Shout out to Roosevelt Davis. We forgot that. They drafted then they get a lineman from he said from Canada. Was it BC or what was that? Some weird. They got another lineman.
Oh, the undrafted guy they got. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some guys on the right now. You got camp bodies.
But hopefully,
got a lot of camp
just get a diamond in the rough would be awesome.
Well, listen, the one dude they keep throwing over there is what's his name? Matt Pryor.
Yeah,
Matt Pryor's massive.
That was the guy.
Matt Pryor is a right
from the
Matt
Rams.
Pryor's a 6'7" right guard.
Yeah.
Matt Pryor is 345 pounds.
It's a big dude.
He plays right guard.
It's a big dude.
Jeez.
He eats a lot of meat.
A lot of man to get around.
Oh, hey, he does what now?
Oh,
snap.
Hey, listen, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. Yeah.
We have.
But that's they've been
6'7".
They've been right here, big boy, bro.
God, dang, that's a big
That's
I don't know if I still got the.
Don't you have a photo with us?
No, I ain't got a photo with him. I was trying to see if I still had the roster. Right? They give us a roster every day, and I always lose it.
This guy.
But no, I'm not very concerned, but it is the biggest storyline to me with the Chicago Bears right now. Heading into this season, I'm focused on nothing more as far as things that we need than Nate Davis, because if he's not out there, or if all of a sudden he's just doesn't go through camp as much and you're kind of getting guys in and out, like you're just going to work yourself in with a rookie quarterback. You haven't been there for the cadence that Caleb is trying to learn. You haven't been there for, him trying to go through a lot of these steps. I think that is a concern for me.
So that's my point is that I get people go through things, but these guys get paid the type of money they get paid. That it's different when I don't show up and I'm out of work for whatever. I have some type of redundancies. If he's not there, someone could have a career altering injury type thing because someone's not, in position. So there's more pressure. Like, unfortunately, you kind of have to suck it up depending on what it is you're going through,
I mean, I get that, but it don't happen.
You get paid $10 million a year.
Listen, I get it, but it don't mean it happens.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like,
you get used to anything, I guess.
I was the person that was looking at Zach LaVine last year, and everybody's like, "Why is he playing so bad?" And I was like, "This man just had a brand new baby. He ain't sleeping."
That's that.
You know what I mean? Like literally,
I didn't even think about that.
I was just giving I can always see that. There's a human side of this. Yes, you have to go out there. You have to do your job. You have to, but there's a realistic side. Like, we human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I had a 2-year-old daughter that wasn't sleeping at that point. You know what I mean? He's sitting there like, well, I kind of understand that.
I mean,
been kicking my butt.
A lot of it too could be based on his motivation. Like, what's his real motivation?
Now that's the thing.
And we don't know if, obviously this happened to him, and I know what it's like losing a family member, losing my father out of nowhere, and then it just takes you a while to really kind of get back into the groove of it all, like as far as work and things like that. So for him, if football wasn't already his main motivation, his main drive, I mean, that just might have amplified his feeling about it all.
Yeah, he might have lost his fire.
Could be.
Sometimes
we had that with during COVID with he was actually really good too in the middle.
Oh, Eddie Goldman. Yeah, he retired.
He retired.
He came back out of retirement.
Did he?
Yeah, he signed with Atlanta.
Shout out to Eddie Goldman being back in football.
With Atlanta. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you do lose that fire.
I forget about that. He fizzled out.
He just was like,
You got to have the eye of the tiger.
I got more of the eye of the the pussycat.
When we fought Rock, you had the eye of the tiger. There is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. Rocky's punching the mirror for some reason.
I ain't hit no bell.
Hey, he.
I thought
he unretired last year. He unretired this season.
No, yeah, he just came back.
He said, "Yo, Tom,
punk.
I ain't hit no bell."
But no, I'm just I think that, you know, not to beat a dead horse here, but I think that there is, if I'm focused on anything, it is Nate Davis right now, just because of like Joel said, the importance that he has on this offensive line. Because to me, here's my thing. There's better options.
Yeah.
Tevin Jenkins is a better right guard.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Not even a question.
He's really good.
I would love to see Tevin Jenkins on the right side next to Darnell Wright.
Please.
I hope they do that.
Please.
I really hope they do that, actually.
Like that
but
would
they probably
be,
can't.
that would be, well, you can't because he's making $10 million and he's got to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it comes down to.
I mean, hey, listen, Post has shown that he's willing to get some people up out of there. He got Chase Claypool. He wasn't making $10 million.
Yeah, but Chase Claypool was completely useless, though. Nate Davis on the field can play football. He just got to be on the field to do it.
Hey, dog, you not being here this back and forth is potentially going to get my star quarterback injured.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to get up out of here. That's what that looks like.
That's another concern.
You got to get up out of here. So
we'll see. We'll see what it ends up being, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Now we got to talk about Nick Wright.
Oh boy,
the interesting Nick Wright, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah,
Nick Wright, who is I don't know if he's trying to.
Yes, he is
trying to just get some following behind him that gains a fan base that excites people. But
bought a place in Chicago.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Wright believes that Caleb Williams is top 5